All right, so people out here who are live, give me a quick update on the response. If you guys are able to hear me well, if you guys are able to see me, if you guys are able to see the presentation which is being opened up. I need a quick update from all of you who are live on the channel now. People who have been waiting for the session to begin. You can intimate your friends, colleagues, and your classmates that we are about to begin with the session, which is the live mock analysis of mock number A4, which you guys have just given in this week. Before the session commences, we'll wait for just a couple of minutes for everyone to begin and everyone to be here. As soon as everyone is here, give me an intimation that you guys are ready with some rough sheets and pen to take some important notes to solve the questions. One more time along with me to see the difficulty level of this paper and mock. We'll begin then. So people who are live now, tell me how much have you scored in the overall paper of this mock number 4? People who are live as of now, give me a quick update with respect to your mock test score of mock test number 5, because we are just about to begin with the analysis of the overall paper. We'll take it section by section, question by question, and which questions were doable, which questions were worth avoidable also. We'll just lastly wait for 1 or 2 minutes more. In the meantime, I think other people will be live here. You can quickly update them that we have already begun, and so that everyone could be here and be a part of the mock test analysis, which we are just about to begin. We'll just lastly wait for 1 or 2 minutes more. Cool. So let's quickly begin with the session of the mock test analysis with respect to math or the quant section. Before I begin, you can possibly tell me your remarks and feedback about the mock test number 4. How did you find your overall paper to be with respect to difficulty level, the questions which were solvable, the questions which you could have avoided, everything which you can think of, everything which you're assuming and possibly might have not helped you out to score really well in the paper? You can possibly update me in the comment box. I and my entire team will basically go through it and then we'll give you the analysis of whatever you have done, good, bad, ugly, or average. Good. Now, if you ask me, usually what I usually begin with is, we know that there were 26 questions which were there in this paper, right? As far as maths were concerned, we will possibly give you a figure that people who are expecting in the range of 90 percentile score, 95 percentile score, and 99 percentile score, how much they should be able to solve the number of questions, provided you are able to maintain 85 to 90% of the accuracy. Clear? So we knew that there were 26 questions which is going to come up in this paper, in the paper of math. Out of 26, now this paper is comparatively the easiest paper among the first 4 mock tests as far as maths was concerned. Okay. Now, if you ask me how many questions should have been done if you are looking at 90 percentile, around about 13 questions if you're able to solve out of 26 with maintaining 90% of accuracy, which is slightly higher than the previous mock test, you would then be able to achieve 90 percentile in this paper. Why is it so? Because the questions were quite easier. If you are able to solve 16 to 17 questions out of 26, you possibly will come in the range of 95 to 97 percentile. And if you're able to solve 19 to 20 questions, or possibly 20, 21 questions, then possibly you're on the verge of getting 99 percentile plus in this paper. Clear? So these are 3 important figures which you need to consider every time before you come for the live analysis, so that you get to see the difficulty level, so that you get to see how much you were able to solve with the overall paper, right? So the minimum expectation would be about solving 50% of the paper. If you're able to solve 50%, unlike the previous paper, where I had given you a figure of 95 percentile and 50% of accuracy and marks, this time 50% would lead up to 90 percentile only, the top 10% of the scorers. 16 to 17 questions, which is 3 to 4 questions more, would have given 95 percentile, and 19 to 20 questions out of 26 percentile plus in this paper. Clear? So those are a few of the important updates before you actually see the live questions. Now, majority of the questions, I repeat, majority of the questions which you have seen, or possibly which you will see in the paper, were always easy. Few of the questions were taken from the straightforward previous year actual paper. These were some of the paper. These were the actual questions which are inclined, which have been influenced by the previous paper. Like the first question that you can see on the screen is word doing. I mean, all of you would consider this question to be round 1 question. Why is it so? Because this question has been taken, not exactly same question, but this is influenced by a CAT 2000 paper, actual CAT 2000 paper. The only change that we have in this question was basically everything was there in the form of a reciprocal, which was 1 divided by root of 1 plus 1 by 1 square plus 1 upon 2 square, likewise, so on and so forth. Otherwise, in the actual question of the paper 2000, the question was only this much, like the reciprocal part was not there. And the question was only about find the sum. In this question, they're not asking you about finding the sum. The question is about whatever the sum you get as, you will get it in the form of a fraction. You have to tell me the difference of the numerator and the denominator. And then only you'll be able to solve this question. I mean, had it been the actual CAT question or the mock test book question, you'll break the question and then only you'll solve this. Imagine if the question is only till here, which is 1 upon, or let's say removing the reciprocal, the question is 1 upon 1 plus 1 square plus 1 upon 2 square. If you solve this, it's going to become 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon 4. If you solve this, this is going to become root of 9 upon 4. Root of 9 upon 4 is basically 3 by 2. And 3 by 2, if you have to segment this again, the value will be 1.5, which is 2 minus 1 by 2, which is just 2 minus 1 by 2. Now 2 is my last digit and 1 is my second last digit. I repeat. So I'm saying the generic form of representing this question would have been 1 upon last minus 1 by second last one. Likewise, last minus 1 by last one. You can consider this way. Like in this, had it been the question only till here, the answer would have been 1 upon 2 minus 1 by 2, and the answer would have been 1. But we know the question is only not till here. Let's say, imagine the question goes till here. Like we are solving only this part of the paper, which is 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon 4 plus root of 1 upon 1 upon 4 plus 1 upon 9. Even if you solve this part of the paper, I mean this part of the question, the answer would have then become just about 3 minus 1 upon 4. The answer would have been this part, where 3 is my last digit now. So the generic form of expressing the entire question is in this form, last minus 1 by last. And it's a reciprocal, so it's 1 upon last minus 1 by last. So even if the value goes till here, I repeat, even if the value digit to be as a last number to be as 100 square, my last number is basically 100, so the form of expression will become 100 minus 1 upon 100. So this is the overall sum which you would finally get at the end. These are typically pattern based questions which you will see year on year. If you solve this, this is going to become if you solve the entire question, 1 upon 100 minus 1 upon 100, the value will become 100 upon 9999. Clear? So the question is not about finding the sum. The question is about finding the difference of numerator and denominator. This is what the question is. My denominator is 9999 and my numerator is 100. If you take the difference of them, the answer which you will get would be how much? You will get 9899. And if you solve this question, I hope all of you who are live have solved the question also. If you have understood the concept, the answer would have been option number 3. Please hit the like button or put your remarks in the comment box where I and my entire team will go through it. All of you who are live in the channel now, I hope all of you have solved this paper, or the question at least. The first question was word doable. It was not a difficult question, worth leaving. The answer was basically how much? The answer was basically 9899. Like this is an actual CAT influence question. This is not the exact question. None of the mock tests will give you the actual question of CAT because those are open sources. Out here, we have made tweaks because if the same question comes in a different format, by changing the format and the pattern, still you should be able to solve the question well. Clear? Hence the answer for this question would have been how much? Would have been 9899. An easy question to begin with. Even question number 2, which was not difficult at all, I hope all of you have solved this too. The next question on the screen is basically, you can consider it to be a set theory question. Like if you solve this, you will understand the question says, what is the total number of integers? What is the total number of integers which are divisible by 2 or 3 or 5? What is the total number of integers which are divisible by either 2 or 3 or 5 out of all the values which are in the top 101 natural numbers. So the question is 1 to 101. How many numbers are there which are either divisible by 2 or 3 or 5? See, had it been a question whether it's divisible by 2, 3 and 5 both, the answer would have been the LCM of this, which is 30. Like we are looking at only those numbers which are divisible by 30, but no. In this question, we are looking at all those numbers which are divisible by either 2 or 3 or 5. If all of you have understood the A union B union C formula, N of A union B union C was basically given by what? N of A union B union C was basically given by N of A plus N of B plus N of C minus N of A intersection B minus N of B intersection C minus N of A intersection C plus N of A intersection B intersection C. In the given question, we are looking at all those values which are divisible by 2 plus all those values which are divisible by 3 plus all those values which are divisible by 3 minus values which are divisible by 2 and 3 both, which is 6, minus values which are divisible by 2 and 3, 5 both, 3 and 5, 15, and minus all those values which are divisible by 2 and 5, which is 10. And then towards the end, numbers which are divisible by 2, 3 and 5. 2, 3 and 5 basically, which basically is 30. So if you just take the sum count of all those values, let's see. Number of numbers which are divisible by 2. How many values will be divisible by 2? 101 by 2. You'll see there are 50 values which are divisible by 2. Similarly, 3 would be 101 by 3. You'll see there are 33 values which are divisible by 3. By 5, it's again 101 by 5. You'll see there are 20 values which are divisible by 5. If you look at all those values which are divisible by 2 and 3 both, we are looking at numbers which are divisible by 6. 101 by 6, 16, 6 is 96. So 16 numbers will be divisible here. Similarly, 3 and 5, numbers which are divisible by 15. 15, 6 is 90. So there are 6 numbers. And then numbers which are divisible by 2 and 5, 10. Basically, this is the simplest, which is 10 such numbers. And towards the end, numbers which are divisible by 2 and 3 and 5, which is 6. Sorry, which is going to be 30. Would be 101 by 30. The quotient would be 3. Like this is one of those questions where none of you can actually make a silly mistake. Now just take the sum count of all those values which we are looking at. The final sum count would be number of values divisible by 2, 50, plus 33, plus 20, minus 16, minus 6, minus 10, plus 3. So you got to solve this value together. Help me out with the final answer. This was the easiest question that you can ever come up across in the paper. Come on, all of you would be able to solve this question well. If you solve this answer, you will get the answer to be as 74. Question number 2 was again a simplest question that you can ever solve. Just a basic formula of N of A union B union C. You need to solve and you need to remember before you take it live. I hope all of you have understood the question and the concept. This was not a difficult question worth leaving. Easy question to begin with. Next question, which was again on slightly moderate level, but this was a question of mensuration. But among the mensuration question, you can expect this to be the easiest question which can ever come up. Right? So if you read the question well, you'll understand this is not going to be difficult at all. It says two lateral faces of cuboid have areas in the ratio which is 60 centimeters square and 40 centimeters square. The question is, what could be the area of the third surface? The question is, what could be the area of the third surface of the cuboid if it is known that the volume of the cuboid is basically 480 centimeter square. 480 centimeter square. See, the lateral surface area of the cuboid will be on one side will be LH. On the other hand, we need to have BH. Yeah. The third surface basically is the question, which is basically L into B. However, they have also given you the volume, which is L into B into H, which is the basic formula of the cuboid volume. is basically 480 centimeters squared. So LH has been given to you as 40, BH has been given to you as 40, 60, 40, and LBH has been given to you as 480. So let's assume this to be as equation number 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you just multiply LH into BH, you basically will get LBH squared, which basically will be 2400. On one side, I've got LBH squared as 2400. I've got LBH as 480. So the value of H, if you divide both of them, will be 2400 upon 480. We'll get the value as 5 centimeter. So it has been known to us that the height is basically 5 centimeter. Now using LH and BH, where the values are basically 60 and 40, if you just put the values of H to be as 5 and 5 here, you'll get L to be as 12 because 12 5s are 60, and B is 8 5s is 40, so B would be 8. So B would be 8. So it has been said the area of the third surface would be L into B, which is 12 into 8, which is basically 96 centimeter squared. And hence the answer for this question would be option number 1, which is 96 centimeters squared. Easy question, were doable. All of you would have got the answer right also. Not a difficult question that you should have missed out. If all of you have understood this, please hit the like button. Come on. I hope it is clear that the question was more doable. This was not a difficult question that you could have actually missed out. I hope the entire screen is also visible to you. If there's any technical glitch, if you guys are facing, you can update in the comment box. I'll go through it personally. Have a look at the next question, which was there in the math paper. This was again a paper or question which was word doable. I mean, this is not going to be a difficult question at all. Tell me how many of you have solved this question. Tell me how many of you have solved this question. This question is not at all difficult. A word doable question, which I hope and believe all of you might have solved. The question says, it's a basic simple arithmetic question. It says, a student was given a task. A student was given a task to calculate the average marks of 10 students in the class. The student was given a task to calculate the average marks of 10 students in the class. It was known that none of the students has scored less than 10. I repeat, none of the students has scored less than 10 or more than 100. Clear? It has been said by mistake the student interchanged 2 digits of its marks, which is MN, for one of the student. So let's say if the value was 28, it was given to you as 82. The values of M and N, 2-digit values, have been interchanged. Like a 2-digit numbers would be given in the form of 10x plus y. The reverse sum would have been 10y plus x is a question. As a result, the average marks calculated for 10 students. As a result, the average marks calculated for 10 students was 2.7 more than what it would have been. The question is find the difference in the digits. The question now is find the difference in the digits. Let's understand one thing. It's been said the average increases by 2.7 marks. The average for 10 people have increased by 2.7 marks, which means the new number would have been how much more? Would have been 27. Like each of them is getting 2.7 more. So total the contribution should have been 27, right? Would have been how much? 27 more. Easy question, a fun to do question. Let's say 2-digit number, as what I've told you, would be given by 10x plus y. The reverse would have been given to you as 10y plus x, right? Now, if you subtract both of them, I repeat, if you subtract both of them, you'll get 9 times y minus x. You'll get 9 times y minus x. And it has been said the new number is how much more? The new number is 27 more. So the question is this. 9 times y minus x should be equal to 27. So it's quite obvious the difference in the digits should have been how much? Should have been. This was a theta question, a word doable question, an easy question. Now this is one of those questions which was not at all difficult. The word doable questions, I mean all the questions which you will see, at least 20 questions, I believe not now, but if the similar paper comes up in the examination, Just 5 or 6 questions were slightly more difficult and moderate, but 20 odd questions I would want and expect all of you to solve. In the remaining 3 months of your time, if you're on the level of 13 questions, I'm asking about 7 questions more to be done. Yeah, very easy questions. So majority of the questions which is going to come up in the paper of a CAT exam is going to be more inclined towards the two important modules, arithmetic and algebra, which you can never miss on, which you can just never miss on. Easy question, which I hope all of you would have solved in the paper also. Clear? I hope this has been clear. All of you have solved this question. Yes or no, you can put your remarks in the comment box. Cool. Again, a simple, very simple arithmetic question which came up. I mean, as said, that if the difficulty level goes down, you would have to possibly improve your accuracy and the number of attempts also. I mean, you need to consider both the algorithm together. So number of questions which you're attempting and the accuracy rate which you're maintaining, depending on the third important logic, which is the difficulty level of the paper, which you need to raise in the first 4 or 5 questions itself. Cool. Have a look at this question. This question possibly will take less than 15 seconds to crack. It says the total expense of a boarding house. The total expenses of a boarding house are partly fixed and partly varying linearly with the number of boarders. Clear? The average expense of boarder is $700 when there are 25 boarders. It goes down to $600 when there are 50 boarders, right? So basically, if you see here, if the number of people staying goes up, the total expense is going down, right? The total expense is going down. So there's a huge fixed cost and there's a slight variable cost. The question is, what is the average expense of the boarder when there are 100 boarders? The question is, what is the average expense when there are 100 boarders? So I have got know the value of 50, 25 pay 700 50 pay 600 So 100 boarders पे कितना होगा? This is the question. Simple question, not a difficult question. Let's say in a very simple way, there are two components. Let's X be my fixed cost and let's assume Y is my variable cost. These are the important questions and the components which is being given to me, right? Now basically they have given you how much? They have given you 700 per boarder for 25 boarders. So the total expense would be 25 into 700, right? Which will give you the value as 17,500. Right, so X is my fixed cost and the number of boarders is 25. So with 25 variable components, 25y plus X will have become equal to 17,500. Similarly, when there are 50 boarders, the average is 300, 600. So total value would be 30,000. 30,000 here would be X plus 50y. I mean, just two parts, two equations, which are supported by two variables. So 25 and 50, if you just double the value, it's one of the easiest questions which can again come up in any of the given examination. You'll get the value of X as 5,000 here and the value of Y as 500. Now, since both the values have been known to you, the question is basically for 100 boarders. For 100 boarders, it's going to be 100C, which will be how much? Which will be 5,000, which is my fixed cost, and 100 into 500, which is my variable cost. If you solve this, and this is basically for 100 boarders, right? So the value of 1C, value of 100C would have become 55,000. So the value of one boarder would have become 55,000 upon 100, which basically would be 550. We'll mark option number 2 to be the final correct answer, which was again a very easy question. Worth solving. I hope it is clear to all of you who are live. Not a difficult question, worth leaving. If there's any difficulty in understanding, please let me know so that I can solve it again for all of you. Now, this is a number system question which came up in the question paper of math. An easy question. I'm saying again, it was a very easy question, which I hope all of you could have attempted. Just could have attempted. So the question says, find the last digit or the unit digit of 39 raised to 46 raised to 252, 73 raised to 47 raised to 33. Since the question is only about the last digit, the answer, or let's say the question can be broken down in this form: 9 raised to 46 raised to 252, plus 3 raised to 47 raised to 33. 3 raised to 47 raised to 33. Right? We are concerned only with the last state. Now the cyclicity of 9, the cyclicity of 9 is basically 2k. 9 raised to 1 is 9. 9 square is 81, which is ending in 1. Which is just ending in 1. Clear? Now here, so 9 raised to any even value. 9 raised to any even value will end in 1. That's for sure, which is going to happen. Now 46 raised to 252, even if I do not know what the answer would be, 46 raised to an even number would be an even number. So they're talking about 9 raised to even. Now 9 raised to even is a value which is going to end in 1. So the last digit of this value would be 1. Just find out this question. 3 raised to 47 raised to 33. Yeah. Let's start with 47. We are talking about the base 3. 3 has a cyclicity of 4k. Dividing 47 by 4, you will find the remainder to be as 3. So the same question can be represented in this form. 3 raised to 3 raised to 33. Now 3 raised to 33. 3 raised to 33, if you divide by the cyclicity of 4, will give you a remainder of 3 again. Would give you a remainder of 3 again. So the answer would have been this much, 3 cubed. The third element in 3's power cycle is basically 397, which is 7. So 1 is coming from here and 7 is coming from here. If you add both of them, the last digit would be how much? The last digit would be as simple as 8. A very, very easy question, which I hope all of you have solved it well. I hope everyone has solved this. A very easy question which came up in the examination. All of you should have solved. And believe me, I mean, though I'm saying every question is easy, but the most simplest question which can ever come in your actual CAT mock paper is the next question, which is a series question. A series and progression question. This is not AP and GP, this is just series based question. So X has been told to you as 1 upon 1 into 2, plus 1 upon 2 into 3, plus 1 upon 3 into 4, plus 1 upon n into n plus 1. Where n is a natural number, The question is find the sum of this. See, the value of n lies in my hand. I'm saying the value of n lies in my hand. I can assume n to be as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it could be. If I assume n to be as 1, the answer would have been only till here. It's 1 upon n into n plus 1. Basically 1 upon 1 into 2, which is 1 by 2. I will not even take the value of n to be as 2, 3, 4. Because whatever the answer may be, it's going to be satisfying for all the values of n which can ever be possible. By putting n to be as 1, you got the sum to be as half. Just see, where do you see half? Fourth cannot be the answer, third cannot be the answer, first cannot be the answer. So it's only option number 2. So it is only and only option number 2. This was a visual question. You can solve this question without touching your pen paper. The easiest question which can ever come in the examination was this. Clear? That's why I'm saying this. That's why the cutoff of this paper would have been slightly more than the other papers which we have solved before. Clear? Not a very, very difficult question. Even see, time and work questions which can ever come up in the examination. Whenever you see a time and work question ever coming up in the examination, you will always and always find all the questions can be formed by using unitary method or by approximation. Either you can use unitary method or you can use approximation to solve and get the answer for all the time and work questions. The answer for all the time and work questions which can ever come up in the paper. I mean, any of the form, you would be able to get the answer right. This was a word doing question. It says 25 men. It says 25 men are able to complete a piece of work in 14 days. 25 men are able to do a piece of work in 14 days. But there's logic. It says after every 5 days, 5 people are called out. So it started with 25 people, followed by 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. Likewise. After every 5 days, you have 5 people less. The question is how much time will it take to finish the work? The question is how much time will it take to finish the work? Let's understand the logic. Let's say the work done by one man in one day be equal to 1 unit. If I assume this thing, which is a standard unit of expectation, work done by one man, 1 day is 1 unit. So the total work done, or the total work to be done would have been how much? 25 into 14. What is 25 into 14? 25 into 14 would have been 350 units. Would have been 350 units. Clear? Now, after every 5 days, there are some people who are leaving. Let's say after first 5 days, what is the total amount of work which is being done? All 25 people are working for 5 days. So total 125 units of work will be done. Similarly, after 10 days, after another 5 days, there are 20 people working 5 days. So 100 more units will be done. Another after next 5 days, possibly you've got 15 people working 5 units. So 75 would have been now. If you take the sum count of this, 75 plus 125, 200 plus 100, 300 unit of work has been done. I'm left out with 50 more units. After next 5 days, there are only 10 people left, 5 units work each of them, total 50. If you just take the sum of 50, 75, 100 and 125, you'll find the overall 50 units have been done. By initially 5 days, 25 people, next 5 days, 20 people, next 5 days, 15 people, next 5 days, 10 people. Now, if I take how many days have gone, 5 days were here, 5 days were here, 5 days were here, and 5 days were here. If you take the sum count of all this 4, you'll get it to be the answer to be as 20. That's my option number 3. That's my option number 3, easy question. Word doing question, which you can all perform in the paper. These questions are basically called as sitters. They are not difficult at all. They are word solving questions. All of you would be able to solve the question well. This was not difficult. I'm not even saying the question. The overall paper of math was not difficult that you could have missed it. Again, a number system easy question. I'm sure all of you would have solved this question in less than 5 seconds. I believe all of you would be able to solve the question in less than 5 seconds. So that's not going to be difficult. What is the question about? The question says find the remainder. The question just says find the remainder of 47005 into 47006 into 47007 has been divided by 8. What is the divisibility rule of 8? The divisibility rule of 8 says the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. Just the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8 is the only question, right? If you look at the last 3 digits, in the first value it is 005, next value is 006, next value is 007. If you multiply 5 into 6 into 7, possibly if you just take the remainder theorem says the divisibility or the remainder of 5 into 6 into 7 is as same as 5 into 7 by 8 into 6 by 8. Just the remainder, just the remainder. What would be the answer? 7 5 is 35. 35 upon 8 will give you the answer as 3. Because 4 8s is 32. So 3 is going to be the remainder here. 6 is going to be the remainder here. If you divide it by 8, you will see it's going to become 18 by 8. 18 by 8, the remainder would be 2. Sanjeev, you got the answer right. I hope all of you would have got the answer right. This was the easiest question which can again come up in the examination. A very easy question, which was word solvable. Like solving 13, 14 questions in this paper was not at all a big deal. Like all of you with half preparation also would have got the answer right. Would have got the answer right. So all the questions of time and speed and distance was also quite easy. Like for example, if you look at this question, the question said, you need to visualize this. I mean, by making a diagram, possibly it's going to be easy for you to visualize what is happening. It says at train A, left Centerville station heading towards Dale City station at 3 p.m. Now, this is my Centerville and let's say this is my Dale. This is my train A and you've got another train which is train B. Train A started at 3 p.m. has been given to you. And the next train, which is train B, started at 3:20 p.m. When did the second train start? The second train started at 3:20 p.m. It says the train rode on the straight tracks that are parallel to each other. So one is moving in this direction, second is moving in the other direction. If train A started moving at a speed of 30 miles per hour and train B moved at a speed of 10 miles per hour, the question is, the distance between C and D is basically 90 miles. The distance between both of them has been given to you as 90 miles. When did the trains meet each other? Anyone who's ready with the answer? Easy question. I hope all of you would have solved this question well. Anyone who's ready with the answer? Any one of you? A easy word doable question. You cannot miss on this. Okay. Let's make the time interval to be equal. The second train started at 3:20 p.m. Let's find how much distance would train A would be able to cover in the first 20 minutes. It is moving at a speed of 30 miles in 60 minutes. So in 20 minutes, it's going to cover 1/3. Basically, 10 miles will be covered. The overall initial gap, I repeat, the overall initial gap between the station C and the station D. The overall gap between C and D was basically 90 miles, out of which 10 miles are already covered. Anyone who's done with the answer, come on, give me an update in the comment box. Out of 90 miles, 10 miles was already covered by train A. So now the leftover distance between train A and train B, I repeat, the leftover distance between train A and train B is now how much? It's basically only 90 minus 10, which is 80 miles. Right? We have got train A and train B. Both of them are moving at the same time. They left 3:20 and 3:20. Now train A is moving at a speed of 30 miles per hour and train B is moving at a speed of 10 miles per hour. The question is the meeting time. The meeting time or time is basically a component of distance upon speed. But this time it's going to be not just the speed, it's going to be a relative speed. This time it's going to be how much? This time it's going to be a relative speed, right? So the total distance between both of them was how much? The total distance between both of them was 80 miles. One of them is moving at 10 miles per hour, next of them is moving on 30 miles per hour. If you take the ratio of 80 upon 40, you'll get the time to be as 2 hours. But would this be the time of 2 hours starting from 3 hours or 3 p.m. or it's going to start from 3:20 p.m.? There are two options, 5 p.m. and 5:20 p.m. Which one will you mark as a question? Which one will you mark as a question? Come on. Tell me the answer. All of you. Tell me the answer. Everyone out here? Is it going to be 3 p.m. onwards or is it going to be 3:20 p.m. onwards? Is the only question that you need to answer. What do you guys think? Sanjeev, Prashant, Tejas, all of you are live. Now 3:20 p.m. I repeat, 3:20 p.m. was already being given to me. So we started at 3:20 p.m. If you're taking 2 hours more, the meeting time then would be 5:20 p.m. So instead of 5 p.m., you will be marking 5:20 p.m. to be the final answer. Clear? Good. Bharat, you got the answer right. So, I mean, it was again a very easy question which can ever come to the examination as far as PhD was concerned. So all the questions which basically you will see in this paper as study, like around solving 13 to 14 questions was an easy, good deal for all of you. Even if you've prepared half of the given content preparation, still you'll be able to solve around about 13 questions. 13 questions out of 26 in this paper would have given you 90 percentile. Solving around about 16, 17 questions would have given you 95 to 96 percentile, and solving 2021 questions would have given you 99+% in this paper. Cool. On this note, we'll stop the analysis of math paper. Now we've got Heather sir here who will be taking up your session on logical reasoning. I have made you the host, Heather, and you are there. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Abhijit. I can. Yes.
Perfect then. Cool. Then I'll take a sign off. I'll ask you to take it on.
Okay. All right, everyone. Good evening. Okay, and let's get started off. Okay, with the Lrdi section. Okay, you guys can see my screen. Okay, quick confirmation if you guys can see it. All right. Okay. Yes. All right. So unlike the previous mocks, okay, unlike the previous 3 mocks that we have discussed till now, okay, my opinion about this particular mock was that this mock from the Lrdi perspective was relatively quite easy. In the previous papers, okay, in the previous mocks, okay, is what we saw that we could have got roughly around 2.5 sets, okay. But in this particular section, okay, in this particular mock, okay, I see that easily, okay, as what I have shared on my screen also, if you can see now, okay. None of the sets, okay, I have marked, okay, outrightly on a difficult side, like it is very, very difficult side, okay. None of the sets were like that. So there were definitely some of the sets which were, I mean, very, very easy. I would say, okay, these are like, almost CET level questions were there. Okay, very easy, these 2 sets, and which was an arrangement and ranking. So here definitely a complete 4 questions right, okay, should have come. Okay, that like 4, that means 8 questions right on this. The first set was also a pretty moderate one. Okay, in fact, the multiple graphs thing also was also quite moderate. Okay, it's just that you have to do some basic level of calculation. Okay, other than that, okay, it was quite at the moderate level. So if not both, okay, at least one of them you could have managed, okay, and try to get that right also. Okay, so what I see is roughly if you would have got 3 sets completely right, okay, which is what, like 4 questions under each set, okay, so that means roughly around 12 questions right with 100% accuracy if you get, or even let's say 11 questions right or 10 questions right, okay, so that would have been definitely a score close to between 25 to 28 marks, okay, with the negative marking. So there were some questions with theta, so I'm still considering it, okay, on the 28 side. Okay, so if you could have managed to get somewhere around 25 to 28, this definitely would have been a score somewhere close to between, let's say, 90 to 95 for this particular section, okay, or close to 95, not 90, but close to 95, okay, percentile for this particular section for this mock. Okay, the reason is very clear because overall this particular section was easy, okay, in this particular mock itself. If you are aiming at a 99 percentile in this mock, okay, then definitely if you could have got let's say 3 sets and then one of the sets partially right also, okay, let's say 3.5 sets, okay, then this would have been close to a 99 or 98 percentile in this particular mock. Okay, now what I'll do is, okay, I'll go and as what we do always in our mock discussion, we'll look at the set, okay, and then eventually we'll see that whether that particular set was supposed to be done, okay, or not. Okay, meanwhile I would need some responses here, okay, of people who have given this mock, okay, who are attending the live, okay, can respond that whether they found this particular section as difficult, easy, okay, how was it, difficult, moderate, easy, how was it. Like obviously you cannot solve all the sets, okay, that is not possible, okay, that's not even expected, but yes, out of 6 sets, okay, if we are able to attempt more than 50% of the paper in Lrdi, definitely that is at a moderate to easy level paper. Okay, that's what the case is there in this particular section as well. All right, so I'll go ahead with this. Okay, we'll look at the first set, okay, which was on an easy side. So we'll look at this set. Okay, in baseball game, okay, it is given here in baseball game, there were 5 couples such as 5 men, okay, so A B C D E are 5 men and E F G H I J are 5 women, okay, occupy a row of 10 seats. So it is basically a case of linear arrangement. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 seats are there, you have to arrange them. Okay, the men are in odd number seats, so that is very clearly given to you that men are in odd number. That means this is the list of men. So odd number is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So men are going to occupy these numbers only. Okay, similarly, if you see for women, okay, F, G, H, I, J, okay, this was going to be on the even side because men are in odd. So this is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so these are the 5 numbers for women. All right, now if I want to put it across in the seating arrangement, okay, so it is given here. Okay, if I start with that, what do I always tell you is look at the direct sets, direct clues, and the indirect clues, right? That's what I always tell you, direct clues and indirect clues. And that is what the main just a minute. Okay, yeah. All right. So that is what is going to be your main criteria for selecting a set also, direct clues and indirect clues. So if I look at this set, okay, where 10 people are to be there, okay, 5 men, 5 women, men are going to be in odd numbers, women are going to be even numbers, okay. Look at the information here, okay. D is, so basically they have said that starting from the left, each woman sits to the right of the man she is dating. So the man and the woman are linked up, okay, from the perspective of dating. Okay, so woman sits to the right. So woman is going to be, let's say, here. Okay, and man is going to be here like this. So man, woman. So woman is on the right side of the man. Okay, so these two people are dating. So it's like that. So D is I's date. Okay, so D and I are going to be together. Okay, D is going to be is male. Okay, that is given to you. So D and I are going to be in this fashion. Okay, all right. So we have done this. I is not at the right hand of the row. Okay, so this is, let's say if I put numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so this is not I. Okay, and the man she is dating is not at the left end of the row. So that means, okay, I is not going to be here. Okay, so because it is said that, okay, I is D's date, okay, it is very clearly given the D and I, so I, this is also linked to I. So it is very clear that D is not going to be here. Okay, so the man she's dating is not at the left end of the row, so D is not here. So we are clear with that part also. C is second to the right of right end of the row. Okay, direct thing again. So C is going to be here, right end. Okay, second from the right end. Okay, again you can plot it. The man dating J likes G. Okay, among the other women and insists on being seated to the immediate right of G. Now, what do I understand from this? Okay, how do I plot this? Man dating J. J is a woman. Okay, so if J is here, this is the man who is dating J. It's like that. Okay, and this man likes G best among the other women. So other than J, okay, this man also likes G and insists on sitting to the immediate right of G. So that means G is going to be here. That means G, man, and J, it is going to be like this in this sequence. So D and I are like this. Okay. G, then there's a man. Okay. Who is this man that I don't know? Okay. And there's J here. What does it mean? That G and J are going to have a space of 1 in between. Okay. That's what I'm getting from here. Again, I can plot this. Okay. At least in this fashion. Now, B has his date occupy the middle pair of seats. Okay. B and his date. Middle pair is going to be 5 and 6. B is what? Male. Okay, so male can figure out, can be plotted at 5 only. So I got a specific point of B. So B is sitting at 5 position. Okay, so I've got this. I sits to the left of B. So I is coming here. Now, if I is coming here, okay, D is coming here. So we are clear with this part. So what do I see till now? After just going through everything once, okay, I can get the specific point of D, I, B, and C. Out of 10 people, at least 4 people I could directly plot. Okay. Now, this is done. Now, G, man, and J. Okay. That means there has to be, okay, as I told you, between G and J, there has to be gap of 1. Now, J is a woman. And if you see for woman, okay, it is, I is already, so I already occupied 4. Okay. Now, in order to, can G be at 2? Can G be at position number 2? That's not possible. Okay, because G needs to have a man and then a J. Can J be at position number 2? J cannot be at position number 2. Understand this? Because there needs to be a man and there has to be G on this side. So this is not possible. That means for J, even 2 is not a possibility. So what is the possibility for J? Let us see that. What is the possibility for J? If I see the possibility for J, can you have a J at 6? You cannot have a J at 6 because again, okay, there is, if you see, there's no space for G here. So when 6 is out, that means the possibility for J, okay, will be at position number 8. Okay, and another case is where position number 10. Okay, there's only two possibilities for J. Okay, that is position number 8 and position number 10. So I can have both the plots together. Okay, so I am just putting a J here as well. Okay, these are the only two possibilities. All right, so let me just put these things like this. That makes it convenient because there's going to be, I think, 2 or 3 plots. You can quickly plot it. So this is DIB. Okay, J has come here. If J is here, G is here, and there is some man here. Okay, I don't know who is this man. If J is here, okay, G is here. Obviously, this man between them is C now. Okay. Someone says, Bharat says, C sits left of B. C sits left of B. Okay. C sits left of B. Is this directly given to you somewhere? C sits left of B. Where is it given to you? Actually, C sits right of B. So between I and B, okay, there is no direct information given. Okay, if you see C sits left of B, that this is you're saying. Okay, if you're saying this, so C sits, this is left only, right? This is left, this is right. I sits left of B. So that's what I've done. Right? I sits left of B. Bharat, I hope you're clear with this. Okay, so now what happens that these are two possibilities for G and J. Okay, we have done that. Okay, now remains that what are the remaining points? Okay, if I see what are the remaining things, okay, the remaining things is A is remaining, B, C, D, E is remaining. Okay, F and H are remaining. Okay, now A and E are male. Okay, F and H are females, if you see. Okay, now for A and E, okay, what are the possibilities left? Okay, because 1 is occupied, okay, so 3 is occupied, 5 is occupied, okay, 9 is occupied. So only 1 and 7 is left for A and E. Only 1 and 7 is left. So I don't know. Okay, so I'm just putting A/E. Okay, and 7 I'm putting E/A because I don't know right now. Okay, A/E and E/A. Okay, like this. So I have two cases here. Okay, that EA is going to have two cases. Okay, like this. So so this is one of the possibilities. Now what is left is F and H. Okay, now again, do you know the possibility for F and H? Okay, any clue which talks to you about F and H? You don't know, but in the first case you know that F and H can be here. Okay, and here. Similarly, in the second case, it can be between second and this location, okay, which is 6th point. Okay, F and H. So what is happening if you see how many plots do you have? Because there are multiple cases. Okay, here if you consider one case of A and E, okay, then you have two possibilities for F and H, right? That means there you have two possibilities here. Similarly, here also for E and A, there are two possibilities, and for every possibility, okay, you have F and H also two possibilities coming up. So you have two possibilities here. So there are total of 4 possibilities in this case. Okay, there are total of 4 possibilities in this case. Now, if you want here, okay, to have a quick check on the 4 possibilities, you can write down all the 4 possibilities. For now, I'm writing only 2 possibilities. Okay, let's say the first one is A. Okay, so first one is A. Okay, then you have D, I, B. Okay, G. Okay, and here you have E that you have filled up. Okay, J, C. Okay, now this is the case. Now in this case, okay, you will have F and H. Okay, so you don't know F and H. Okay, now this is a case. This is one possibility. Okay, the other case that I'm writing, if I write E here, F and H are still like this. So D, I, B. Okay, G, and here in case of E, I'm going to have A here, and then J, C, F/H. So you see, there are 2 cases that I've written for now. Okay, from this, and similarly, I can make 2 plots for the lower one. A very easy set, if you see. Okay, none of the statements here were very tricky or something that you have to figure out. Okay, after doing a lot of things. Okay, you have 2 sets, 2 possibilities here, 2 possibilities down there. Okay, and based on this, you have these questions out there. Okay, 4 questions, and if you see, there is no additional information given in the question. Okay, there is no condition given in the question, so that makes this set definitely an easier set to be attempted. Okay, great. everyone? Definitely this should have been done, okay, with 100% accuracy, okay, of 4 on 4 questions, okay, should get right in this, okay, because this was not a very difficult set. So let us look at, okay, more the other set, okay. This is the next set, okay, that we have, which is again a very easy set, okay, that could have been done, okay, with a complete 100% accuracy. A, B, C, D, E are 5 students in a class. They are ranked in order of their performance in sports, from best sportsman to the worst. Okay, so basically a question of ranking again, which can be said as an arrangement only. So 5 students are there. Okay, then you have sports. Okay, in order of okay, and in order of their marks from the best scorer to the worst. So there are 2 ranking. Okay, one is from the perspective of sports, and second is from the perspective of marks. And here, if you see, okay, here you have how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there are total of 5 ranks that you see. Okay, this is there. Okay, and let's see now. Okay, if the information is straightforward, if it's direct information, okay, definitely, okay, that will be an easier set for me to attempt. Okay, if it is given in a very trickier manner where I cannot find out things very particularly, I will have to go back, okay, to some other set. Okay, so let me see. Okay, what are the conditions given to you? So no 2 students get the same rank in any parameter. So if you have, let's say, A here, you cannot have a A here. Okay, that is not a possibility. So you cannot have same alphabets in both the cases, which is a very simple case from the Sudoku perspective, Sudoku puzzles. Okay, now from here onwards, if you see, okay, here onwards the conditions are coming up. Okay, B plays, okay, better than E, okay, but does not score as much as A and C. Now what happens here? Okay, for the rough work also, I'm keeping my sports and this marks thing separately. This is my rough work. Okay, B plays better than E. So I know that B is going to be ranked, okay, higher than E. Okay, this is there, but does not score as much as A and C. So B is below A and C, but between A and C, I don't know, okay, who is no higher and who is lower. I don't know between A and C. That eventually I'll see. So this part I have plotted. Okay, whereas D is the best scorer of all. Okay, best scorer. So D is going to be the best score. Okay, that D has got. So I know D is rank 1 in marks, but plays poorer than A. Okay, that means D is below A. Okay, I know this part also. Okay, I don't know between A and E, A and D, what is the relation? B and E and A and D, what is the relation? I don't know that. But yeah, I get this individual thing. So I've done till here. Okay, while C plays poorer than D, so C plays poorer than D. So C is going to be here, below D. Okay, if I remove this part, okay, so C is going to be below D, but better than B. You see that better than B? That means C is better than B. Now, if C is better than B in sports, okay, your entire plot is very easy. Okay, before B you have C, and before C you have D and A. Okay, so this becomes D and this becomes A. So the entire plot is very sorted now. A, D, C, B, E for sports. So this is A, this is D, this is C, this is B, and this is E. So for sports, I've got the entire thing, if you see. Okay, now comes the point for marks. Okay, now for marks, let's see what further do we have. C is not as good a scorer as A. Now between A and C, okay, which is above? A is above, because C is not as good as A in scores. Okay, that means we know this part also now. Okay, that here you have A at the top, okay, and then you have C. So ACB is going to be like this. Okay, now you know this much part for marks. Do you know anything other than this? Okay, for marks, if you see, for marks, okay, you know D is their rank 1. We know this. Other than that, you don't know anything else. Okay, but what do you know? Okay, that the ranks are not going to be same. So here, okay, you cannot have C. Here you cannot have B, and here you cannot have E. Okay, so one of the possibilities, okay, here probably there can be multiple possibilities. So ACB is going to be here. Okay, you have 4 places. Okay, you don't know the value of E, where the position of E you don't know. But yes, I can plot, let's say A, if I can plot here. Can I plot C here? I cannot plot C here. So I'll have to plot C here, and then B comes here. Okay, and then E comes here. This is one of the possibilities. Okay, the other possibility is if I keep A here again. Is there any other possibility? If I keep, can I keep A here with any other possibilities? Because I cannot keep C here. Okay. So there is no way that I can have one more A, okay, one more possibility A with A as the at second position. That is not going to happen. So the other possibility is where I take A as the third position. So if I take A here, okay, C can come here, B can come here, and E can come here. So these are the two possibilities for marks, okay, and this is the only possibility for sports, if you see. Okay, again, not a very difficult question, an easy set which can be done, I think, in 6 to 7 minutes. Easily this could have been attempted. Let's look at the questions. Okay, is there any more information? No. Okay, so they have given that, okay, when the person, okay, so they have asked, because obviously there are multiple cases here, okay, they have asked you about different situations. So based on those situations, you have to answer it. Okay, how many students definitely, okay, if C, okay, which are the following the worst scorer. Okay, so so that's what, okay, we can see from here, because worst scorer is definitely going to be B. Okay, so like this, okay, not a very difficult set, could have been done in a 6 to 7 minutes. C can be fifth ranker, right? C can be fifth ranker. No, if C becomes fifth ranker, okay, Bharat, okay, where will B go? B has to be below C, right? So C cannot be fifth ranker, because below C there is going to be B in marks. Okay, I hope you're getting it. Ramesh, are you clear with this? Okay, C cannot be ranked number 5, because we know this sequence, okay, that A, C, and B. We know this sequence, right? So if you put C in rank number 5, where will B go? So B has to come below C. Okay, that's why you have two possibilities for marks and one single possibility for sports. A very easy set. Okay, definitely 4-on-4 should be done in this particular mock for this set. Okay, so two sets that I have shown you here, okay, which were on a very easy side, okay, and that could have, that could have got you those required number of marks. Okay, now let's see, okay, more sets, okay, that we have. Okay, so what I have done till now, if you see, okay, I have done these two sets, okay, which are the easy sets that we did. Okay, and with definitely with no silly mistakes here, you should be in a position to get 8 questions right from here. Okay, okay, and that is with this 8 questions only you are reaching to 24 marks. A very good score with just such easy sets. Okay, 24 marks will definitely make you reach somewhere close to 90 percentile. Okay, at least somewhere close to 90 percentile, okay, is where you will be there. Okay, might be 88, 89, okay, but somewhere close to 90 percentile with just these two easy sets in this particular mock. If this would have been on a difficult side, okay, then yes, 2 sets can make you reach up to a 95 also, but in this case, okay, it will be somewhere around 90 percentile with these 2 sets. Now come the point. Okay, I have a couple of sets which is moderate, okay, and then couple of one as a moderate to difficult. Let's see them, okay, and let's see, okay, what which among them could have been done. So I would say this is relatively, if you see, okay, relatively it's not very difficult. A lot of people might people who are scared with graphs and all that, okay, might see these multiple tables and run away. Okay, but if you just dig deep, okay, there's not really a lot to be done in this particular question. Okay, because they have given you a lot of information. Okay, when you have multiple graphs, this is one of the very thumb rule kind of thing that you can keep in mind. When you have a lot of information given to you in tables, okay, that means you have ready-made information. Okay, it's just that yes, you have to pick up. You will have to do some calculations. So yes, you will have to be good in terms of your calculation speed here. Okay, but if you see the calculation required is not a very tedious and difficult calculation in this set. Okay, let us quickly see, okay, what this set is all about. Okay, so here they have given you, okay, about the profitability of a company is defined as the ratio of its operating profit, okay, to its operating income. So profitability is basically operating profit upon operating income in terms of percentage. Okay, typically as expressed in percentage. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, this is the equation, the formula that they have given in the first statement. Following two graphs shows the operating income. Okay, so you see, okay, for these companies ABC, so there are 6 companies, and you have the operating income of all the 6 companies. Okay, that you see, okay, for 2 different years it is given to you. Okay, directly. Now, as well as the profitability of 6 companies, again, profitability is also given to you for these 2 years for all the 6 companies. So if you see, you have this information readily given to you. You have this information readily given to you. Okay, so the only thing which is not given to you directly is operating profit. Okay, let's see in the third thing what they're giving you. The operating profit of 4 of these companies. So out of 6 companies, 4 companies operating profit, okay, against the respective operating income for the year, okay, to 2002, 2003. So for one particular year, okay, only for the 2002-3 year, okay, 4 companies out of 6, okay, they have given you the operating profit. Okay, now what happens from these particular 2 bar graphs that you have? Okay, can't you get the operating profit? You can, right? You know this value, you know this value. You can calculate the operating profit for both the years. Okay, so right now don't directly start jumping and calculating the operating profit. We'll see further in the question. Okay, what is required. Okay, and based on the questions, okay, what needs to be done, what is required, we'll calculate that part only. Now, once you calculate for 2002-3, once you have the operating profit with you, you know here, okay, the operating profit for 4 companies is given to you. Whatever the values that you get, the 6 values, from that you will get to know, okay, that which are these 4 companies. You'll get to know that also. Okay, so you get to know which are these 4 companies. That means you also know which are the 2 companies which are missing here, which are not given here. In short, what I mean to say is this, using just this one equation, just one formula of percentages, okay, you can calculate all the values of operating profit. Okay, which is making this set as a very easy set to calculate, where the data, if you see, is very directly given to you. Okay, not a very difficult set. Okay, because the information is not given in a very based on a lot of conditions and all that is not there. Simple stuff, just one simple equation. Okay, let us look at the question which you see. Okay, now, yeah, if let's say, for example, if you have done 2 sets, for example, you have done 2 sets and you have less time for the third set, okay, and you're coming to this set, in that case, what do you know? If there is a question which is dealing directly with profitability and operating income, that question can be answered directly only. Right, that answer can be answered directly because you have the direct data given to you. For questions which are on operating profit, on that you would need to calculate something. Okay, so what I see here, let me see. Now, first question is about some statements, okay, true and false statement that you have to check. And the first statement here is about profitability and operating income. Okay, which is a direct thing. I mean, if I see the graph, I can get that. But the other statements you see, okay, this is here we're talking about operating profit. Here again, if I see, okay, the third statement is talking to be operating income and profitability. Again, no calculation required here. Okay, companies with profitability is given to me here and operating income is given to me here. So out of the 4 statements, there's only one statement that is talking to me about the operating profit. Other than that, all the other statements are asking me questions on the direct data from the bar graphs. Okay, which does not need any calculation. That makes, okay, this question, okay, you don't calculate for the second option. Okay, calculate for the other 3 options. If you find the other 3 questions right, okay, definitely second question becomes the wrong statement and they are asking you which is not true, so you can get that. So this is how, okay, you have to do that smart job, okay, in terms of solving questions. Okay, which was the company recorded the highest operating profit? Again, you see operating profit. Okay, so you will have to do the calculation here. Okay, yes, but for a particular year only they are asking 2002-3. Okay, and basic calculation is there, again can be done. Okay, and if I see next question, operating profit, again, what is the approximate average of operating profit? Okay, one from in the year 1 and 2 of 2 companies excluded from the third graph. Okay, so because if you see, okay, here it is given to me in the third graph given below. Okay, here, so what we can do, okay, we can calculate that and see it. Okay, again, what is missing? Okay, average of operating profit. Okay, again, so if you see, it is a little bit of more calculation. Okay, but the data is not a very difficult data in terms of the calculation part. Okay, that was making this set on a moderate level. Okay, not easy. Okay, but definitely a moderate level of set. Okay, which could have been attempted in the mock as probably the third particular set, okay, which needs to be attempted. Okay, there's one more thing, okay, one more set, okay, which is in the first set that we see, which is sequencing. Okay, and this is the set again. Now here The reason why I have put this as a moderate set, okay, is because, okay, there are more possibilities in this case, okay, when it comes to the plotting part. But if you look at the data side, okay, the data is again, okay, not something which you won't be able to understand in one go, where you need to read a lot of times, not required. At one go, if you read, okay, and you start plotting it, okay, this can be done. Probably might take, okay, around 15 minutes of time, okay, for this set, okay. But as I told you, two sets which were very easy, okay, that those sets could have been taken around, okay, this set, okay, I think it can be taken around 7 to 8 minutes. Again, 7 to 8 minutes for this set. And for the scanning purpose, okay, you would have spent another 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, so if I see by the end of no, these two sets that you must have attempted, okay, so 15 minutes goes in the attempting those two sets, okay, and 7 more minutes goes in this. So roughly at the end of around 22 to 23 minutes, okay, you must be done with two sets in this particular section. So half the paper, half the time is gone. Okay, out of 40 minutes, roughly around 20, 22 minutes, 23 minutes have gone. But yes, two sets you have got definitely right. Now, if you are getting, okay, if you are spending another 10 to 12, okay, minutes, which is for any of the moderate level questions, you would get the third set also right. And then if the remaining time would be for the fourth set, okay, which if not completely, probably could have been done at least half of this. Okay, so that is there from the perspective, if you see, okay, that I have. Great. So let us see this question also. What is this telling me here? So this question is, a company ABC is limited, okay, owns three garages ABC, okay, which provides three special type of quick services, okay, to customers vehicle, okay, in 3, 6, and 11 minutes. So this is the combination of time. Okay, so three services are there. This can take 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 11 minutes. All right. Now going ahead, if customer are present, no garage is left free. Okay, that means if the customer is present, okay, whoever is available free will be given that particular customer. Okay, so there's no preference in terms of the sequence. Okay, whoever is free will take it. Okay, will make sure that the garage is not kept free. Okay, now this is a very important part. Okay, that you need to make sure that the garage is not left free. The garage is kept busy for the maximum possible time. Okay, one garage can service only one vehicle at a time. Okay, so okay, you can't give multiple vehicles to a particular garage. Customer can choose any one type of service. Okay, and all three garages are competent for providing all three kinds of service. Okay, so yes, that means the customer can take any of the three possibilities, which is 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 11 minutes, and all the garages are giving you that. Okay, now they have given you, okay, I see some values I'm missing. It is written here. So this becomes, okay, the table below shows some of the vehicle in a day, is what time, okay, they came in, okay, what time their service started off. So when they came in and when the service started, there can be a gap, okay, that means. All right, so garage allotted and the time taken in service. So time taken in service, okay, which can be obviously 3, 6, or 11, okay, which is there. And this is the schedule here. Now, the reason, as I told you, the reason I have put this as a moderate is because of the possibilities that I see in this case, okay, is more, okay, which was not the case, okay, in the previous question that I saw. Okay, so if I start solving this set, okay, where will I? If I see for 9 o'clock, okay, you have three customers coming in, okay, and the service starts time is also 9, okay, so that means 3 people are immediately starting, and ABC is also given to you here. So this is 3:11 minutes, okay, this is 3 minutes and 11 minutes is there, okay, that means you don't know the time limit for B. So B can be 3, 6, or 11. Okay, the next customer is coming at 9:05. Okay, so 9:05. Okay, so by obviously C is getting free at 9:11. So C is not free, but A is getting free at 9:03. Okay, 9:05 you have someone. That means at 9:05, who can start? 9:05, A can also start, B can also start. Okay, let's say if B takes also 3 minutes time, so B will also be free by 9:03. So B is also being free at 9:03. A is also getting free at 9:03. So they both can be a possibility for fourth, the fourth vehicle, the fourth customer. Again, you might say that, sir, why did you take 3 minutes here? Okay, I'm just taking possibility. I'm taking a case. There can be a case, okay, of 6 minutes also, 11 minutes also. And when I start plotting, okay, if anywhere I see that any of the conditions is getting violated, okay, that means that particular assumption, okay, will be wrong assumption. Okay, so based on this, what you see, okay, here you don't know about A and B timing also. And if you see, there's no condition given to me with respect to time, but we just have to see that everyone is kept busy. So this is a case, okay, where 907 is this vehicle coming in, and obviously if A is being used here, okay, B is going to be coming here. Okay, so we know that possibility also. So that's why if you see, the number of possibilities are going to be more in this case. So if you ask me that, sir, between a moderate set of 1 to 4 and a moderate set of 13 to 16, which is a multiple graph, which one should you pick up as the third set to be plotted to be solved? I would actually do this, because I was very specific about getting an answer there. Okay, the scope of multiple possibilities was not there. Okay, so that's why I would have definitely gone with the multiple graph. Yes, calculation is required. Okay, but rather than having a lot of possibility in this case, okay, which I could have messed up. Okay, I could have probably left one of the cases, not considered one of the cases. Okay, that would have led to messing up. Okay, in a particular answer. Okay, so for me, okay, definitely, okay, this set, and this set, 3 sets, okay, which I think could have been done definitely with 100% accuracy if we are not looking at any other set, let's say, for that matter. Okay, I'm not solving any other set. Okay, but all those 6 sets, these 3 sets could have been definitely done. Okay, as I told you, okay, 7 to 8 minutes for this, or 7 to 8 minutes for this, and this would be on a higher side. Okay, 12 to 15 minutes, on a maximum 15 minutes. So which is easily possible to be done. Now, if you save time here, okay, then you have time for the other 2 sets, which is again on a moderate side. Let us see those sets also. Okay. All right. So what is this set, okay, talking about, and why it is moderate? Okay, let us check that. So let us do that. Okay. Yes. Perfect. We have some time. So if I go ahead with this, okay, let me quickly read what this set is talking about. Okay, Mr. Wills, a poultry farm owner, okay, keeps chickens, okay, for exactly 2 months, okay, before selling. Okay, so month 1 and month 2. So there are 2 months that I have. Okay, at the beginning of the month 1, he divided all the chickens in 5 categories. So C1, C5, okay, these are 5 categories at the beginning of the first month. Okay, so he's divided the chickens there. It is known that each of these 5 categories, the number of hens exceeded that of roosters. Okay, so roosters is basically, so this is hen, this is rooster. So hen is the female chicken, okay, and rooster is the male chicken. Okay, so it's a male female thing. Okay, so in each of these categories, it is, again, I'll read this part. In each of these 5 categories, the number of hen exceeds that of roosters by at least 30%. So hen is more than roosters by at least 30%. Okay, so it's a kind of a range given to you, which means, okay, this is somewhere going to be about the possibility that which of the possibilities are there where I have this at least 30% happening. Wherever this 30% is not happening, okay, I'll leave that part. Okay, at the beginning of month 2, okay, so he further divided each of the 5 categories into 2 categories. So now these 5 categories that he has, okay, he has divided that into 2 categories. Okay, so let's say C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. So from here he has 2 categories, here he has 2 categories, like this. Okay, that's what he has said here. Okay, at the beginning of month 2, he further divided each of the 5 categories into 2 categories, like this. One with all roasters, okay, from the category, and one with all hens from the category. That means, so roaster and hen, roaster hen. So what he has done in the second month, okay, that he has from that category roasters and hens he has kept separately. Okay, that's what he has done. Okay, now if this is done, where he has kept, okay, this separately. All right, so okay, such that there were 10 categories, obviously, okay, because there are 5 and then you are getting 2 from each, so there are going to be 10 categories overall, category 1 to category 10. Okay, and the category is numbered in no particular order. So there's no particular order in terms of the number given to you here. Okay, but you have a total of 10 categories. Now all chicken in the above categories who are kept in farm for exactly 2 months, okay, that we know, okay, that they have again told us. Okay, the following table provides information about the percentage of chicken in each category in month 1. Okay, so now they're talking about the table part. So what they're giving to you in the table, okay, I'll read that part again. The following table provides information about the percentage of chicken in each category in month 1. So this is percentage. So this 22%, 23, 20. Okay, so obviously the total of this, okay, will be 100 because that's all the chickens are categorized into 5 categories here. Okay, exactly 2 months. The following table provides information about the percentage of, okay, so and the number of chicken in each category in month 2. So here it is number. And obviously this total number is equal to 100%. So if you can figure out this, okay, so if you just add this up, okay, you will get 500. And once you add this, okay, you know that the 100%, that means the total number of chicken are basically 500, out of which 22 is here, 23 is here. So you know this is going to be 110, and likewise you can get the values for each of the categories. So what happens? You know the number of chickens in each of the categories, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Okay, what are the number of chicken? You know that. Okay, now you don't know what is the number with regards to the roaster and the hen part. Okay, that you don't know. But what happens here? Let's say, okay, this is 110. Okay, and these are the numbers that you have. These are the numbers. So here, if I see, there has to be a combination of 2 numbers, okay, which will be a combination of hen and roaster, and hen is going to be at least 30% of this number. Okay, so hen is going to be, if you see, this is going to be 0.3 times of r. Okay, is going to be at least this much. So it's going to be greater than or equal to. Okay, I write it here again. H is going to be greater than or equal to 0.3 times of r. Okay, that's what we know. So here basically, now the reason this is at a moderate level, because you will have to make combination of those numbers. Okay, you have obviously, see, some of the numbers are higher. So you have 85, you have 80, okay, you have 75, okay, you have 60. Okay, these are the higher numbers that I'm picking up. Okay, you have 50. I think all the other numbers are smaller numbers, right? Yes, all the other numbers smaller numbers. So these 5 numbers that I have marked up here, okay, these 5 numbers, okay, there's a high chance that this will be the number for hen. Okay, and based on this, okay, I need to figure out, okay, that which is the case, okay, which is the possible case for roasters. Okay, that we need to figure out there. Okay, so that is the other part, okay, that we have to see. Okay, that we'll have to do here. Perfect. So if you see this part, okay, based on the combinations is where, so this is going to be a little time consuming. That's why this is not a set, okay, that I would actually be attempting here. Okay, so probably this is as I said, okay, I will not kind of go with this, but if I have any questions just directly, probably I might think of attempting that. Okay, but for now, considering the other sets, okay, the previous sets that I've seen, okay, those sets were relatively easier. Okay, so definitely this is not a set, okay, that I would want compared to the other. Okay, I would go with this, okay, this and this. All right, comes the last part. Okay, the last set that we have, okay, we can check that set. Okay, now, so if you check the last set, okay, that we have, okay, this is a set. Okay, I see a lot of numbers, okay, a lot of situation cases here, okay, which gives me a feeling, okay, that yes, there might be a lot of calculation. So let me have a quick read, and then take a final call whether I should attempt this or not attempt this. Okay, all right. So if I am checking this, okay, let me. All right. So start off with here. Okay, Mr. Sanyal is investing a particular amount, okay, which is investing in different assets. All right, this is all the assets given to you. Okay, in order to invest in US bonds, okay, that means one must first convert his investable funds. Okay, so these are the other reasons given. Okay, so this is exchanging. Okay, if you see, so you have to convert in the exchange rate. So here the exchange rates are given to you, okay, which is silver prices, okay, US, okay, and all of that. So you have yen, dollars, okay, all the different exchange rates are there. Okay, now that is giving me the notion that, okay, for every amount, okay, then I'll have to convert that into that particular exchange rate and then take it forward, okay, which is going to be a time consuming affair. Looking at the questions are, if you see, the questions are also not very straightforward. Okay, you will have to do that calculation to come up here. So the one set, okay, in this particular mock, okay, that you would have definitely left, okay, would have been, okay, should be this one. Okay, the last set, which is a table case set, okay, I would consider, okay, leave this, skip this. Okay, this is not a set, okay, that you should have been that you should have attempted, but the set, okay, that you should have definitely solved. Okay, yes, okay, a 4 on 4 here, a 4 on 4 on this. Okay, and For me, okay, multiple graph, because calculation is relatively very easy in this case. Okay, so I would consider again a 4 on 4 in this. So these are the three things, okay, from here, which is 12 questions. Okay, and out of these 12 questions, even if you get 10 questions right, okay, so that is going to give me a score of around 28, which is a good enough score, okay, in this particular mock from the LRDI perspective. Okay, then comes the part, okay, if you are looking at a score of 30 plus, okay, probably one more set, okay, other than these three that you wanted to have attempted, okay, could have been this, according to me, okay, because here the number of cases were more. Okay, here, yes, some calculation was there with regards to those chickens and all that, okay, but yes, at least 28 should have got in this particular mock from the LRDI perspective. All right, so that's all that I had, guys. Okay, I think, okay, we already have Kamini ma'am joined in. Kamini, are you there? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I have already joined.
Okay. Great. So I'm done with the logic part. Okay, I think you can start with the part for verbal.
Okay, sure.
Okay? Yeah,
Thank
I'll just make you the host. All right.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to verbal section mock discussion. Okay, so I hope you guys have learned a lot from quants and LR and DI section. So hoping that you will get a lot from verbal ability as well. Okay, so when we talk about live mock discussion, what I'm planning is that we usually go for that normal mock discussion in which we usually see that these are the questions, these are the answers, and this is you supposed to attempt, and this number of questions will make you will make you score a decent score and everything. So what I'm planning today is that we are actually talking about score this much, solve this much, that what should be the strategy, because no student can solve all the questions. Okay, so if you see that today I have written that how many topics are there in our mock. I have written the number of questions, but the difficulty level which you can see is blank. Now, did I do this purposely or it was just a mistake? So this is basically a hint which you guys can see. So today what we're going to do is, most of the time students get confused. The problem is that how to select question that I have to attempt. I have 40 minutes with me. I have to attempt certain number of questions, but which supposed to be those questions? Okay, someone say that you have around 1.5 minutes for one question, so you can get it. But that time, these 40 minutes include shifting from one question to another, marking your question, analyzing the question, skipping the question. You read it, you analyzed it, you spend around 30 seconds on that question, and you realize, no, this is not my cup of tea. I'm not gonna attempt it. Okay, so these are certain things which is happening. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna see that how to proceed for solving the questions. Okay, so first learn that. Now what I do is I basically divide verbal section into three phases of solving the verbal section. First phase, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry for the interruption, guys. So first phase, second phase, and third phase. And third phase. You need to solve your entire question paper, I mean the verbal section, into three phases. Now, what is this first phase? When I talk about first phase, you go for RC. Now, there are around 4 RCs in a mock. Now, to be on a safer side, what you need to do is you need to solve at least 2 RC, minimum 2 RC. Okay, so minimum 2 RC. Okay, this is what you have to 2. Now suppose the number go up might be at 3 or might be 4. That's really good and great, but minimum number should be 2. Now suppose 2 passages are there which I find little difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in 2 RC in phase 3. Okay, so phase 1 is the very first session, the very first number of questions which you attempt. Second phase is our VA section. Okay, so second phase will be VA section. Okay, so this is how it proceeds. First RC, in that you need to go for minimum 2 RCs. Okay, remaining you put it in phase 3. Now VA, when it comes to VA section, what we do, we attempt number of questions, whatever we feel, summary, parajumble and odd one out. We might solve all the questions. There is no such difficult question which we need to put in third phase. Okay, so there is certain strategy that when to proceed or whether we have to go for fourth section or not. Okay, so there are a number of questions going on in students' mind. जो सबसे पहला important होता है, that is strategy only. So suppose you thought that I solved all the questions from VA section. Now there are only 2 questions from VA section. So what you have to do in this case, now here I have around 2 RCs with me, which is a little concern. It means I have to divide my time between first, second and third phase. Okay, now there can be another situation where instead of 2, I have solved 3. And here I'm only left with 1. Okay, so what in that case I need to do is I can actually conclude my entire into only 2 phases. Entire passage. Why? Because there is only 1 RC left which I can afford to skip. If I have found that okay, 3 RCs were a little easy, my accuracy was pretty good, so don't rush yourself. Okay, dedicate enough time to your VA section in that case, because obviously you have to read the entire RC and might be the number of questions are only 3 or 4, so don't rush your VA section in that scenario. Okay, what you need to do is if 2 RCs are there, obviously you need to spend your time in these 3. If you are left with 2 RCs, if you have put 2 RCs in third phase, okay, and certain number of questions of VA section, okay, in that case you need to proceed for it. If you have put only 1 RC, then better you try to wind up your entire in these 2 sessions. Okay, so this is how you proceed. Divide your time and accordingly proceed for it. Okay, now the bigger question is how to put things into third phase. How would I am supposed to know that whether this is difficult or not? And if I have read the entire passage, why should I put in the third phase? I have already wasted so much of time, then why should I go for it? So there are a number of questions. Now, today we're going to learn how to identify the difficulty level of the question by utilizing minimum time. Okay, now proceeding for the trick. Here is the passage in front of you. Now, how to identify whether this is difficult or not? There are 2 things which you need to pay attention on. First, see the length of the passage. Okay, how lengthy the passage is. Read only first 3 lines. Okay, first 3 lines you have to read. Now you have to judge. If your passage, your first paragraph is little lengthy, in that case, if you feel that 3 lines are not enough, I cannot judge, go for the entire first paragraph, but make sure do not cross this. Do not cross that at any cost, whether you understand the passage or not, whether you identify the difficulty level or not. Do not proceed to the next paragraph. If you couldn't identify the difficulty level, you still confused, it means it is a clear sign that you didn't understood the passage. You didn't understand it at all. So you can easily mark it as a high difficulty. Okay, now if time permits you, time you need to dedicate on this evaluation is only 30 seconds. Make sure, see the timer, only 30 seconds are allowed. Okay, suppose you have read the entire paragraph in 20 seconds, you are still left with 10, go for the conclusive one. This is our conclusion. Okay, now reading first and last paragraph will be enough for you to identify whether the difficulty level is easy, moderate, or high difficulty level is there. Now, easy and moderate are those type of passages which you need to solve in the very first go, and the difficulty level jiska high hai, that you need to take in phase 3. Okay, now if my passage is little shorter, my paragraph is little shorter, in that case, you can go for the first and last paragraphs at the same time. Only 30 seconds will be enough for you. In case like this one is little lengthy, go for the last one only if you are left time. If you are not left with any time, maybe like a 5 second, instead of reading the entire last paragraph, just go for the last 2 lines. Okay, that's the best way to identify that whether you can or cannot put this particular question in phase 1. Okay, this is the first way. Now, second, evaluate the number of questions. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Pretty good number of questions. I have 5 questions, and let's check difficulty level. Among the considerable number of men dedicated to the task of keeping Lewis H1B entertained several met bizarre ends. Nothing, however, quite equal to the death of Jean-Baptiste Ponquelin, the self-styled Sauveur de Molière, a man established by 1672, an actor, manager, and chief playwright of La Troupe d'Europe, performing at the Palais Royal in Paris, and much in demand at court, but might it not be a bit dangerous to counterfeit death? Molière as Argon, the hypochondriac protagonist of his last comedy. Okay, when I read till here, I understood that the language is little complex. It includes a lot of French, which might take a little time, because when you are reading English language and when you come across, a different language, your flow breaks. You tend to take more time than the natural one. Moreover, as French is involved, your brain might get a little confused when it will come to solving the passage. So I can easily mark this as higher one. Okay, number of questions 5, length appropriate but difficult. I can easily put this. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for next passage. Okay, first see the number of questions. How many number of questions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Read the questions very carefully. See whether they are related to any, in a case in which you're supposed to read between the lines, or it is enough that the language is easy, answers are given explicitly. There are direct questions. If direct questions are there, that passage, it means the question. So what you can do is you can also go for one more trick if you want. I mean, it's not necessary. Divide RC into reading, into passage and question. Evaluate. If suppose the passage is moderate but questions are direct, in that case, this is an absolute which you need to keep in first phase. Passage, questions are direct, passage is little difficult. In that case, it is also doable. Reason, questions are direct. So it means there will be not any 2 tasks you need to perform at the same time, that you need to understand the questions, you need to read between the lines. No. If you get the information in a correct format by multiple readings, questions are direct. So you need not to work a lot on the questions. Third thing, passage, easy hai, so there is no problem at all. But questions ka scenario, if suppose passage is high level, difficulty level is high, questions are direct, doable. You can give it a chance if you are, only coming up with only 2 passages which you feel that I can solve. So in this case, what you can do is you can go for this one, despite the passage is little difficult. If the passage is, say, high level questions, again, complex, implicit one. In that case, it's a big no-no to take this one in the very first phase. Okay, so this is how you evaluate. What happens with the help of evaluating the passage and with the help of evaluating the questions in the correct manner, you actually save a lot of time. Okay, your focus is there, your concentration is there, because what happens that whenever we come across any passage, we read it, we get confused, then we get actually scared that, oh my God, I lost so much of time. See, it is, if we talk about any examination, not just CAT, there is one more thing which we usually ignore. That is our subconscious mind. Somewhere, if our subconscious mind is relaxed and we are little confident, we tend to solve more questions with more accuracy. Okay. Whereas if very first passages there, you waste a lot of time in that, and then you come up with a certain thing that, oh my god, I have lost so much time in that, now I have to speed up my thing. You end up getting, messing up the examination. So don't do that. So that's why evaluation is the most important factor, which we usually miss, that we should not do. Okay, so passage, this one we have marked as high level. See this one. Emil Durkheim, the first person to be formally recognized as a sociologist and the most scientific of the pioneers, conducted a study that stands as a research model for sociologists today. His investigation for suicide was, in fact, the first sociological study to use statistics. In Suicide, 1964, originally published in 1897, Durkheim documented his contention that some aspect of human behavior, even something as allegedly individualistic as suicide, can be explained without reference to individual. Okay, the language is pretty easy and it is more like an informative passage. Okay, we are describing something, we are informing we are talking about certain information with you. So whenever there is a descriptive or informative passage, okay, descriptive and informative, these two passages always fall in the category of moderate. Okay, always. It means whenever there is a kind of descriptive and informative passage in front of you, you need to take this in the moderate and first phase. Okay, next. So currently our score is 5. We have solved 5, in first phase, we have found it. So we have found a passage in which there are 4 questions. Let's see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 questions are there. Passage was short. Okay, so we have scored 4 questions here. Okay, out of 9, we have attempted, and chances are really high that you're gonna get these questions correct because the passage is little easy. Questions are little direct. All you need to understand the crux. So the main purpose was there, and other questions are direct too. Let's see the third one. First, let's see the number of questions and make sure that whenever you're going for it, you guys are actually reading the questions very, very carefully. Okay, so recently one thing happened to me. Excuse me. Okay, what happened, that one observation is there from last so many years, that student understand the passage, student understand the options too, but still they don't get their answer correct. Reason? If I understood the passage, I understood the option, then where is the problem lying? So the problem is in the question. We don't read the questions very carefully. The problem is that we don't understand the question, that what exactly question is asking. Maybe we understand a little, maybe we are having a rough idea of the question, but having the clear idea of the question is the most important factor. If you're not even aware with the question, how are you going to come up with the answer? So make sure that your question is very, very clear in your mind. Okay, so number of questions, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 questions again. The role of the last paragraph in the passage, direct question. You need not to work on the entire passage. Working on only last paragraph will get your answer. Okay, the passage answer all the below questions except. Okay, having a rough idea, having major information is enough to get this passage. So deep reading is not required, doable. The primary purpose of the passage. Okay, again, these 2 sentences are related. If you get this one correct, you will definitely get this one correct too, and vice versa. Next, which of the following statement can be directly inferred from the passage about intentional blindness? Okay, again, pretty easy question. So questions are absolutely doable. Let's see the type of passage. Length of the passage, considerable. It means there is nothing wrong. Question takes plus point. Length takes plus point. All we need to see the content. The famous gorilla experiment conducted by Harvard University, when a woman dressed in a gorilla suit ambled across the floor thumbing her chest, but 50% of the audience didn't notice. The study shows we often err when it comes to concentration and perception. Humans have a limited capacity for attention, which in turn means that we have a limited capacity to process information at any given point. Okay, so this line actually comes up that what we are about to talk in the particular passage. Okay, so this passage comes more like an informative one. So informative are always doable. So in this case also, this passage becomes the passage which I'm going to take in first week. It means very first go. I'm not going to skip it, and I'm not doing this that I'll come later to it. Okay, doable. Number of questions we have scored. Okay, so currently 13 was there. Total number of questions we have completed 8, because we have only left by now only one passage. So our score is pretty good and the passage is pretty good too. Let's see. According to the passage, okay, it means they are asking for a certain information. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 questions are there. The absence of business school in Japan. So US business school faced criticism in 1980s because the criticism that managed education did not face was that the growth and popularity of business schools among students was most probably due to, according to the passage. Okay, so questions are again direct. Length is little difficult. Okay, now let's see the content. Now, whenever, one more question, whenever there is a number of questions given to you, sorry, number of paragraphs are given to you, passage is little lengthy, but questions are direct. I know that they were asking something about Japan, they were asking about something growth of the business school and everything. What you can do is that, how many paragraphs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 paragraphs are there. This one is little lengthy, so we can divide it into 2. So what you can do is, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Okay, so I have divided the entire passage into 7 parts. Now, when I divide the passage into 7 parts, what exactly am I doing? What I'm doing is that whenever you forget, sometimes it happens that we need to read in certain speed, we need to maintain our pace, and at the same time, I need to remember the information as well. So that becomes really difficult. So the best way to remember, to retain the information is, you read the first paragraph, write 1 key point. Okay, now those key points should not be in the form of sentence that you are writing 2 key points, so you are writing 2 sentences. No. Maximum words you can do is 3. That's it. If one paragraph is there, you get a piece of information, you feel that, okay, I can do this in 1 sentence, that's okay. So for one particular paragraph, you are allowed to write only 1 small sentence. Okay. Now, if there are 2 pieces of information, obviously you cannot go for 1 single sentence. So better write in words format. It means single word, which are enough to make you understand that what the paragraph was talking about. So what happens that when you see those keywords, you will quickly recall that, okay, this word is given. I wrote this word because I read this. Okay. Same go for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 7th. Okay. This is the best way to retain the information which passage is providing to you. Now let's judge the passage. Management education gained new academic stature with US universities and greater respect from outside during the 1960s and 70s. Some observers attributed the competitive superiority of US corporation of the quality of business education. The popularity of business school continued to grow. Since 1960, the number of master's degree award annually has grown from under 5,000 to over 50,000 in the mid-80s, and the MBA has become known as the passport to good life. Okay. Specific about this, this is an absolutely, we call it explicit passage. It means the information is directly given to us. All we need to do is read the question, locate where the information is given related to the question, and mark your answer. So these are the easiest, despite being lengthy, these are the easiest passages an examination can offer you. Okay, so doable, absolutely doable. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 questions. So till now, 18. and we have solved 13. So we have left only one passage, and that passage is also kind of passage जिस पे हम बाद में आएंगे definitely, because we are done with our RC section for now. Okay, and I have ample of time with me because passages are really easy, not that time consuming at all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my VA section. Now when you switch to VA section, don't evaluate whether this is difficult or not, because obviously you are not going to get this in one single go, obviously. So in VA section, we don't evaluate the questions. We don't go for it that, okay, this question seems difficult, so I'm not going to attempt it. No, you won't be able to identify whether the question is difficult or not. Okay, you have to solve the question. You have to approach the question if you really want to go for it. Okay, so evaluation will be done only in RC section. Make sure that you solve at least 2 RC, minimum 2 RC. Advisable is solving 3 RCs. Okay, that is being on the safer side. 1 RC you can leave for later. Okay, it's not like that you are leaving it that I'm going to skip it only and I'm not going to attempting it. This is not something you need to do. I will leave it for later on, but I'm going to come to it later once I'm done with my VA section. Okay. Now, VA section will have a summary. It means a passage will be given to you and you have to identify the best summary. Passages, parasymbol, like this, which you can see. Now, this parasymbol is when first sentence is given to you and last sentence is given to you. All you need to do is work on the body of the paragraph. Okay. Now, how to go for this? First sentence is given to me, so obviously I cannot really identify. The task of mine to identify the first sentence is not there anymore. Now, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, first sentence is already given to me. So what I'm supposed to do is identify that which sentence can be the continuation of the given first line. Okay, because I have one thing for sure, that what am I exactly talking about. मेरे पास में introduction है that this is something I'm about to speak in my passage. Okay, so I have one link related to the others, come up with a pair, and you do have a conclusion. So you have the final answer, okay, and you have the introduction, what I'm about to talk and what is the final outcome of it. All I need to do is rearrange it. Certain things, keep in mind, pair of what and how. It means we always first, whenever we talk about in a passage, the sentence which is having what happened. Suppose an accident took place. So what happened? Accident took place. So information, So the sentence containing information related to what happened will come first and how it took place. Accident hua, but kaise hua? So the description will be in the later part. So accident happened will come first and how it happened will come second. So this is a kind of sequence which you can follow. Second trick is what and why. What happened and why it happened. What will always be the first sentence? I mean, when we talk about these particular sentences only, okay, their sequence. Now, it might be that this first sentence, what sentence is coming at third location. So, whenever 2 sentences are there, which are talking about what happened and how happened, or what happened and why happened, these sentences will have this sequence. Okay, so you can easily come up with your answer. This one is again a moderate one, not that difficult at all. So score becomes 18, 19, 40. Somehow we are coming it. Second, odd one out. Okay, odd one out sometimes can be little difficult, maybe little confusing, because you cannot really expect from the examiner that they will provide you with certain kind of paragraph, in which one is talking about environment and one is talking about politics. That won't happen. Terminology will be same. Language will be same. Style will be same. Topic again will be same. Then how we are supposed to identify? So there can be multiple reasons. One, when one is talking, 4 sentences are talking about advantages of a certain product, and only one topic is one sentence is talking about that what is the problem with the manufacturing of the product. So that will be out of context, despite it is talking about the same product. Okay, one kind of sentence in which, it is raising a question mark. It means a kind of sentence which demands further explanation to make total sense, or which is generating a new information in the passage which is not already given in the passage, in the sentences. Okay, so obviously I need one more sentence to justify it. I don't have that, so easily that becomes my odd one out. Okay, odd one out, parajumble. These are the kind of question which works like gambling. You feel that, okay, I have already come up with 3 sentences. I know the sequence of 3 sentences. All I need to do is now I need to identify a sequence of only 2 sentences now. So in that case, don't do it. If you have dedicated enough time on that question, do not waste your 5 or 10 minutes on single question. Do not waste your 4 minutes on single question. Decide maximum limit of time that, okay, I'm going to dedicate this much time to this question. If that question is done in that particular time, well and good. If you didn't come up with the answer, absolutely fine. Keep it for later on. If you left with any time, you'll come back to that question and you'll do it. Okay, don't get stuck, because sometimes it happens ki itna ho gaya, oh my god, I'm almost done with 80% of the question. All I need to do get is one single sentence. Don't do this. Okay, so this is more like a gambling. So sometimes parajumble and odd one out can be more like addiction, that okay, you feel like ho gaya bas ab ho gaya. So don't do this. Now this one, again, not that difficult at all. Now, again, having A, F as my last one. Okay, the first and last, having body. Read the introduction. The problem of improving Indian agriculture is both a sociological and administrative one, talking about 2 aspects. Okay, now when it starts merging, India will fly. So identify to it kisko address kar raha hai. So obviously that will be the descriptive part. Now again, same application which we did in the earlier question. You have to apply these things only, which we did in 20th question. Go by the same method. Summary question. Okay, summary is something which examination can offer you, can be your comfort topic, I can say, because summary information is given to you. All you need to see is that which option is having maximum of the information. Okay, now how to identify? What you need to do is simply read the entire passage. Okay, come up with keywords, key information. Okay, come up with key information. Now, suppose I'm having 7 key elements. Now there is one option in which 6 key elements are there, and there is one option in which 6 key elements plus some additional information is there. Okay. So in that case, which will be your answer? This one. Reason summary is that summary is a kind of question that if I read the summary, I'll get the same idea. Okay, with minimum description, with minimum information, with minimum words. So if I'm gonna go with this, my purpose is to cover maximum of key elements. Additional explanation will not be appropriate for any summary. Okay, so in this case, what you need to go is, all you need to do is identify how many keywords you are having, identify that which option is covering maximum of key elements. If suppose there are 2 options which is covering equal number of key elements and maximum of them, opt with the one which is not having any additional information in it. Okay, any additional description, examples, anything which is already given in the passage and it is also having. So it should not be like that, okay, this particular option is having more information, so I should go for this. No. Summary requires only understanding of keywords. Any explanation is not required in summary. Okay. So in that case, this will be my answer. Suppose same, all 7 are given. In that case also, same will be applicable. No difference at all. Okay. So this is summary, all about summary. So try your level best, because summary are the easiest one examination can offer you. Hardly it happens that summary will have its difficulty level at high. Okay, it won't be high. It will be either moderate or easy. So dedicate your enough time on the summary question. Chances are really high that you're gonna get your answer absolutely correct. Okay, because all you need to do is simply need to match the information, which is the easiest one can do. Okay, again, now sometimes the language can be little difficult. So when you feel the passage is little difficult to understand, so obviously working on the option won't help you. You cannot assume that, okay, let's see option, do I get the options? No. If you understood the passage, you will definitely get the options. Okay, there's no chance that you won't get the option. There is no chance that you won't understand the right answer. The only fact is you need to understand the passage. Okay, now once you are done with your passage, you understood the passage, go for it. In one single reading, if you feel that, okay, the passage, the language is very difficult, vocabulary used is very difficult, in that case, you can skip it. Otherwise, there is no necessity to skip it. Okay, and later on, you can come to it anytime. Now, again, it is a kind of summary question only. Expected number of summary question will always be around 3 to 4. Okay, so out of 4 summary question, this one is little moderate level, I would say. If you feel that I have to skip one because I want to go to my RC or something, this is the question which you can skip. Okay, because sometimes the vocabulary can be little like many of people are not aware with bourgeois. Bourgeois is little kind of word which is not that much as you. It means middle class person, common man. Okay, so sometimes vocabulary can be hindrance. Otherwise, there is no chance you'll have any kind of hindrance in it. Next, local communities have often come to conflict with agents to exploit resources at the faster pace for the expanding commercial industrial economy. More often than not, such agents of resource intensification are given preferential treatment by the state through the grant of generous long lease over mineral or fish stock, for example, or the provision of raw material at their enormously subdivided price. With the injustice so compound, local communities at the receiving end of this process have no resource except direct action, resisting both of the state and outside exploiter through a variety of protest techniques. These struggles might perhaps be seen as a manifestation of a new kind of class conflict. Okay, so information is clearly given. मुझे समझ आ रहा है what the passage is talking about. All you need to do is identify key elements. Now let's see how to identify key elements. There is conflict. Okay, agents of why conflict is there? Exploitation of resources there. Okay, faster pace, reason, commercial industrial economy. More often than not, such agents resource intensification are given preferential treatment. Okay, by the state through the grant of generous. Now, reasons are given that they are given, how they are given. So, unnecessary information, this. Okay, which we don't need. With the injustice, obviously we need to show that injustice is there, conflict is there, exploitation is there, but there is also injustice. That's why there is conflict. Okay, so these are certain key elements which you need to identify. Okay, all you need to do is just see that which one is having the maximum of it and go for it. Any topic which is generating an extra information which is not given in the passage but वो अपने हिसाब से लेकर आ रहा है. So don't use your common sense or general information that okay, if this scenario is there, so ऐसा तो हो ही जाएगा. No, we need not to come to the conclusion. We need to come up with a summary. So कोई भी additional information, no matter whether it is related or not, okay, doesn't matter at all. You are not allowed to take any additional information. Okay, and here comes your answer. 25th, 5 sentences related to topic. Again, odd one out. Read the description very carefully. Odd one out. It means we have to come up with a sentence which does not belong to the paragraph. Same application we need to apply for. Okay. Sorry. Okay. In the following question, Again, 4 statements are provided between an opening statement A and a closing statement F. The 4 statements are jumbled up and form a coherent paragraph. When properly arranged, key in the correct sequence of the 4 statements representing proper and logical sequence of the 6 taken together. Okay. For a new fleeting case with the Tehelka revolution, our somnolent political class actually raised some hopes to reform. Okay. By reading first sentence, it again seems some moderate one. Sorry. So, we have almost completed, we have almost decided which one is difficult, which one was not. So let's see our overall score, how much we could solve and how much we couldn't in this particular mock. Okay, so let's talk about reading comprehension 1. It was high, which we skipped for phase 3. Okay, these were, doesn't matter, moderate or easy, but we kept it. So these are the 3 passages which we did. Parajumble, easy. Odd one out, again easy. Easy. Summary, second one was difficult out of these 3 summaries. Only one was little difficult. So we actually solved 2 summary plus again parajumble may all 3 were easy. Maybe that last one was little trickier. So let's keep it 2 only for now. Odd one out, both were easy. Again, we are having score of 2. And how much we left? We left 1 paragraph symbol, 1 summary. If we are assuming that we couldn't reach to the last phase. Okay. So 1 paragraph symbol, 1 summary, both odd one out were easy. Okay. And 5 questions of parasymbol. Okay. Reading comprehension. So all we left is 7 questions. Okay. Now, thing is, excuse me, out of 26, we attempt around 19 questions, which was pretty decent again, but chances were really high that we may have gone for the 3rd stage because these 3 RCs were not time consuming at all. So we can say that we're going to save a little time in RC section. Okay. Now, if we talk about VA section was also not that time consuming. So chances are really high as RCs were the kind of thing. I would say that RC has the biggest factor in this particular mock where we can save a lot of time because they were actually very easy and questions were direct. So chances are really high that I am gonna come to my phase 3. That is those questions which I have left for the last. करते हैं हम यूजुअली बचपन से करते आ रहे हैं, जो आते हैं वो सबसे पहले कर लेते हैं हम लोग, फटाफट कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद में जब टाइम बच जाता है तो हम लोग आराम से वो डिफिकल्ट वाले क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं. सो क्योंकि हमारे पास में यहाँ पे बहुत सारा टाइम बचा आरसी और बीए की वजह से, सो हम फेज 3 में तो डेफिनेटली आएंगे. लुकिंग एट द डिफिकल्टी लेवल ऑफ दिस मॉक, फेज 3 में हम डेफिनेटली एंटर करेंगे. एंड वंस वी एंटर द फेज 3, वी टेंड टू सॉल्व एट लीस्ट 2 questions. We actually do this because here I need to dedicate entire most of the time to 5 questions. So obviously I'll go for solving these individual questions first because I'm gonna directly take one thing. If I do get and if I find, I'm gonna evaluate questions if there is any question. जैसे कि suppose the question is related to last paragraph. उसने specify किया कि आपको last paragraph से ही answer देना है आरसी में, ठीक है. So what we can do, हम लोग directly last paragraph पे जाएंगे, answer identify करेंगे and we'll mark that. So chances are really high that we're gonna get through this. But again, even if we couldn't, we have pretty decent score of 90. Okay. So if you guys have any question, any doubt, please come up with it. Any question you guys have? Okay. So as I'm having no questions with me, let's hope that you guys have understood how to proceed for the VARC section, how to, strategize your thing, how to strategize the question, how to evaluate the difficulty level of the question, how you need to work in 3 phases. Hopefully you will get maximum of it and hopefully you will save a time, because sometimes it happens that we do have this feeling कि अगर यार 5 minutes और होते ना तो I could have gone for one more question. This happens. So maybe if you go for a proper strategy, you will have those extra 5 minutes with you, और उस extra 5 में आपका जो भी planning था, you can execute it. Okay. So as I can see, no questions are coming. So let's call it a day then. Okay. So for more updates and for more such mock analysis, for more how to strategize on various things and everything, keep watching MBA Pathshala's channel. And not just mock, there are some other sessions too related to some specific topics, maybe parajumble or reading comprehension or something, from which you can gain a lot of information. So keep watching and keep practicing.